and I started reading. Believe me, I couldn't attempt even one question myself. I was really worried. I was completely worried. I was targeting for a prize. Prize එකක් තියා මට මේක පාස් වෙන්නවත් බෑ කියලා තමයි මට ඒක වෙලාවේ හිතුනේ. Hi all, my name is Piyumanthi Liyanaarachchi and I was able to secure the Advanced Management Accounting prize in last 2023 December examination batch. To be honest, management accounting is a bit difficult, but rather than interpreting it like a difficult subject, I would say it's a complex subject. That is mainly due to a few reasons. One reason is in management accounting, the way that examiner is asking questions is quite different from the other subjects. Since this is a calculations based paper mostly, so here the examiner can change the entire idea about a question with one single word or two words. So therefore, having a good practice in management accounting is really important, and this is one of the main reasons why most of the students think management accounting is difficult. Number two is the structure of the paper. When it comes to other papers like FRG and law and audit in the corporate level, I am referring to. So the other paper structures are quite different from management accounting, and in management accounting you cannot predict the questions that are coming to exam 100% accurately, because the entire syllabus can be tested in one exam and there is no any pattern. You can't guess. You have to have a thorough knowledge about each and every single concept, each and every lesson in the syllabus. So that's number two, second reason. Third reason is, I would say, the reason why people think that management accounting is difficult is time management. Because management accounting is mostly based on calculations and related interpretations, most of the students get lagged in time management. So they are not able to completely attempt 100 marks within the 3 hours. So that's the third reason I would interpret that people or the students might say management accounting is difficult. However, if you have a proper study plan, if you have a clear plan, and if you are confident that you can pass this exam, definitely you can pass management accounting, as well as even you can try for a prize as well. The most important thing is put aside the thoughts that others are saying. When I was attempting corporate level, many people told me AMA is the most difficult subject in corporate level. That's their experience, not your experience. So you have to be confident and set aside that mindset you are having from the business level, because in business level also we are having management accounting, but that's quite different from what we are facing here, because that is MCQ based exam, but here we are writing for the exam. So management accounting is overall manageable. I'm not saying not difficult, it's manageable, and you can get through the exam if you follow a proper plan and if you are confident about yourself that you can manage it well. Okay, when it comes to the study process that I followed, I am dividing that into main 5 steps. Number one, when you are facing a difficult subject like advanced management accounting, the most important step is finding a proper lecturer and a proper learning partner for you. That's the number one. If you get wrong in this step number one, you won't be able to score a good mark in your exam. That's the truth. That's the reality. And in a subject like this, it's really difficult to self-study. You need a proper guidance from a proper industry expert. So in that step, I had no doubt on onlineaccounting.lk or Hasham sir, because he was my guidance for business level 2 as well. and also most of my friends also followed his course in AMA, and one of my friends was able to secure Advanced Management prize even before me in a previous batch. So with those experiences and the trust I had, I chose onlineaccounting.lk and Hashan sir as my lecturer and the learning partner. The other main reason for choosing onlineaccounting.lk is the flexibility. I am a full-time worker at a Big Four in Sri Lanka, as well as I am following a degree and I am a final year undergraduate at University of Sri Jayawardhanapura. So with all these commitments, it's really difficult for me to spend the weekend only on studying, going for a physical class and sitting and learning. That's not practical for me. Therefore, I chose onlineaccounting.lk, where we have all the flexibility to watch the videos and get through the syllabus whenever the time permits for me and permits for you as well. So believe me, most of the time I watched videos in midnight or early in the morning. Those were the hours of studying for me with the other work commitments and other study commitments. So number one is finding a proper learning partner and a good lecturer. That's step number one. And step number two is believing that lecturer himself. So I believed the guidance provided by Hashan sir, and I followed his steps step by step properly without skipping any step. So when it comes to Advanced Management Accounting, I'll tell you his secret, his process. So this is what I followed afterwards. That's why I am telling you. The first thing he says is to get a good knowledge, a good understanding about the theory areas. Actually, when I learned theory areas, I was wondering why people would say, why students would say Advanced Management Accounting is really difficult. The way he explains the concepts and theory in detail made me feel like this is really easy. This is very easy and nothing is complex and nothing is they have to worry about. Advanced Management Accounting is really easy. That's how I felt when I was watching his theory videos. The reason is he is teaching the logic. He is not just teaching how to plus and minus, how to do the calculations, but he is explaining the logic. Why we have to add, why we have to subtract, why this concept is there, what's the purpose, what's the linkage between two concepts. The way he is teaching is really interesting and logical. That way, I got a thorough understanding about entire theory areas. So, for that, getting an understanding about theory areas, it didn't take much time. Then the hard part comes. After getting an understanding about theory, if you think, okay, I watched all the lesson videos, I watched all the theory videos, now I am ready for the exam. No, you are not. Just getting an understanding about theory will not let you be successful at the exam itself. Yes, you need to know theory, but most importantly, you need to have a good practice. Then after getting the theory understanding only, you can attempt questions in the exam. Then the next step I followed was I did all the further questions done by Hashan sir, which were more complex and at the examination level. So when I was attempting those questions, I realized, this is the way that examiner is asking questions. At that point, I got the understanding. Although the theory is very simple and easy, the way examiner asking questions is quite difficult. That's why most students are fearful about this Advanced Management Accounting subject. So, the most important part is practicing questions and the past papers as well. There are many friends, even my friends, they are asking and telling that even though they studied this much and that much, they have not gone through the exam. When I asked them whether they have done past papers, they say they couldn't do the past papers, they only watched the theory videos using the study leave period they had. So that's not an answer actually. So you have to set aside some time for studies and practice questions. Hashan sir is doing actually about 15 past papers. And he is clearly saying, do not watch the discussion videos without attempting the papers first. So in my case, I'll be honest, I couldn't do all 15 past papers. The reason was I did all 4 subjects at corporate level at once in last December. So in that scenario, I couldn't attempt all 15 papers. I only could attempt about 5 to 6 papers. But that was enough for me. And if you do 15, then imagine you can achieve a very big score. But the important thing is, when you are attempting papers, don't think attempting papers is just watching the discussion video and nodding yourself, I can do this, this is the way this is doing. No, that's not. When doing past papers, you have to take 3 hours and sit in a place very quiet and calm and attempt these questions yourself. I can remember myself before 2 weeks for the exam. There were only 2 weeks for the exam, and I took the first past paper. Now then only I was doing past papers, but if you can do more than that, that will be better. So I took one past paper and went into a quiet place. Yes, I put this time aside and I started reading. Believe me, I couldn't attempt even one question myself. I was really worried. I was completely worried. I was targeting for a prize. I am being honest. I was targeting for a prize from the very beginning itself, but I couldn't even attempt a question. Then I was really worried, thinking, what about the setups out the prize? I even can't pass like this. Then I was thinking like that. Prize එකක් තියා මට මේක පාස් වෙන්නවත් බෑ කියලා තමයි මට ඒක වෙලාවේ හිතුනේ. But then what I did was, I didn't give up. I watched the video discussions on the paper. I watched the video discussions on the paper and then understood this is the way of approaching the question. So he is really explaining these concepts very easily, linking all the theory parts into the question and showing us the tricky parts. These are the tricky parts. These are the tricky words that examiner has said. And these are the areas that you need to be careful. He is explaining all these things very nicely. So after watching that first video discussion for the first past paper, I took the second one. Then again I went and I started writing. Then I realized myself, okay, this paper was better than the previous one. In previous one, I couldn't attempt even one question myself. But in this paper, the second one, I could attempt about 3 to 4 questions myself. And I got few correct, few wrong. Likewise, you have to practice and practice and practice the past paper questions. That is really important. If you can do all the 15 past papers that Hashan sir is discussing, you need not to worry. You will definitely pass the exam. But the mistake that my friends and you all are doing is not attempting the questions and past papers with time. Attempting means attempting it alone. When you do mistakes, only you learn where you can get wrong at the exam. So that is really important to practice time management as well as to get a good score. So my one piece of advice is, whatever the process Hashan sir is saying, please follow it. And he is doing enough live sessions to cover all the doubtful areas. And also, most importantly, the one live session that I loved the most was that one live session he is completing all the single concepts, theories and concepts in entire syllabus within 2 hours. Within 2 hours, he is reminding from first lesson to last lesson, covering all the concepts and important areas. That live session was my favorite, where I could understand, I can't remember these theory areas now, I am lack of knowledge in this part and I can't remember this concept, so I have to watch that again. Likewise, I could understand where I have missed and where I am now forgetting little by little. So, My advice is, please follow these steps, then you will be definitely able to score a good mark and even a prize for your exam. In achieving 76 marks for AMA, the process that is used by Hashan sir was really helpful. I did what he asked me to do. As I told you earlier, first focusing on theory, just getting an understanding on theory, then doing further questions, then practicing past papers, and especially he is reminding when it is closer to the exam, weekly he is reminding, do past papers by timing, do past papers by timing, don't look at the paper discussions without attempting the past papers yourself. Likewise, he is continuously reminding and stressing out the importance of attempting papers by yourself and making yourself the ability to manage 3 hours. Attempting the 100 marks. He is always stressing out the point, attempting the 100 marks in the paper. That's the most important thing if you want to achieve a prize at any subject. If you want to score 50, I'll say just you want to pass, the probability of getting passed to the exam if you attempt only 70 marks will be really low. But if you attempted 80, it's a bit high. And if you can write almost 100 marks in AMA paper, obviously you will pass the exam. That is guaranteed. Most of the time you will be able to pass. So attempting 100 marks within 3 hours was my key plus point, I believe, that led me to achieving this prize. One final piece of advice that I can give you is work according to a plan. By a plan, I am not telling you put a timetable and allocate time. This time I am sleeping, this time I am studying, this time I am eating. No, not like that. Make a plan. I am completing this much of lessons and I am covering this much of papers by the end of this month. I am doing this much of tasks by the end of this week. And when you are making that kind of a plan, you need to have a good determination to continually study. Even I have that bad habit of procrastination where I used to, nowadays I am trying to get rid of it. I used to say and postpone studying. I had too many excuses. One day it's too hot, one day it's too rainy, one day I am too tired, one day I am too sleepy. I know you all are like that too. When we are getting back home after doing office work, yes, we are exhausted. I agree. I can say I'm also the same. But at least study 1 hour per day. Please put aside that time and do your studies and work hard towards your end goal. So my best advice I can give you is, don't think that the subject is difficult. Please love this subject rather than being fearful or rather than rejecting this, rather than saying just love the subject. Love the subject and love the content and be confident. And I can guarantee you, if you follow Hashan sir's guidance on advanced management accounting, step by step, right? Not doing one step, skipping the other ones, doing all the steps step by step in a very structured, planned flow, you can definitely go through the exam. I can guarantee that. And also even you can try for a prize. As my last words, I would like to thank Hashan sir for all his guidance and commitments towards the students' education, not only mine, for the entire CA students community. The service that he is doing is really, I don't know what to say, invaluable. And my parents, they were the support and the strength behind me, and my relations and all the friends who supported me through all these things. And finally, a special thank to team onlineaccounting.lk for creating this amazing platform and maintaining it in a beautiful way. Thank you.